Hello and welcome back to my second YouTube video on the Renault Clio RS200. Now, for those of you that didn't watch the first video, this is actually a car that I brought with my father to essentially convert to a track day car. So we've ended up with a base car, which is a Renault Clio RS200 with the 2-litre naturally aspirated engine in. And I did do some research on these before we purchased it, and it seemed a really good base car for what we wanted to achieve. So essentially we've ended up with a high mileage vehicle. It's done 130,000 miles, which in my opinion is high, but it has got full service history, 2 cam belt changes, and it seems to really be well looked after. When I purchased the car, it came with no interior. I think the previous owner had taken out maybe the bucket seats because there might have been the Recaro yellow dots, I think. And I think alone they're worth about £1,500. But essentially we've ended up with a really good car. There is a small dent on the rear arch, which I'll walk around and show you, and it wasn't the first video. But essentially, I've driven this car and I'm absolutely blown away with the handling, the acceleration, and literally how far the rev range goes in this. It does rev around to 8,000 RPM, which seems ludicrous. And under normal circumstances, there was no way I'd drive a car, in that manner. But it seems that Renault have, designed this car to be driven that way. So looking online, there are some weak points on these vehicles, namely the gearbox. They tend to blow synchros, and I think it's 3rd and 4th gear that tend to play up on these. But a gearbox rebuild on these is probably between £500 and £600. It's something that, I don't think it's if it happens, it's when it happens. So we've factored in that. There is no crunching from the gearbox at the moment. It seems pretty solid, and I think it's been well looked after. But I will give you a quick look around, and I'm really happy with what we've got. So just to give you a quick recap, what we've done so far. We have done the 5-nut stud conversion on this. Which predominantly allows you to hang the wheels on the hubs rather than balance them up and try and find the bolt holes. Obviously for track days, that's going to be essential if you're changing wheels on and off the car. I've done the 20mm spacer kit on this as well, which I brought off Facebook Marketplace, and I will itemise as we go through what these parts have cost and where we are on the total build cost of the vehicle so far. We've put 2 Cobra Sebring wraparound bucket seats in. Much to my annoyance, I found out after purchasing these that you can't use them in the Nürburgring. I think it's to do with the visibility, which after driving the vehicle with these in, they aren't the best. And then I've also put a 4-branch manifold on it from Toyo Sport, I think it is, with a gravity exhaust catback system on it, which I'm yet to find out if that passes a decibel reading because it is extremely loud. It has a lovely crackle and pop to it when you sort of back off the accelerator. I brought that off a gentleman on Facebook, a guy called Jez, who's absolutely fantastic. He's doing a Meglio conversion where they put the Megane turbo engine in these, so he didn't need the exhaust system anymore, and I picked it up at a really good price. I think I paid £280 for the manifold, which was about 2 months old, and the catback exhaust, which again, I don't think it was more than 4 or 5 months old. So far, we're doing really well on costs, and today I've also purchased the K-Tech induction kit for this, which actually came with a blue pipe to match the car, and that came in at £80. So we're getting there. We are spending money. It's not cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than what it would be if I was to go and buy one of these ready to go. And also buying components brand new would obviously add a huge cost to this, and we're doing this for fun, not to go and compete. It is purely something to take to a track day on a weekend, and have some fun with my dad, create some memories. So I'm going to quickly show you around the vehicle, show you what we've done, and then talk to you about the costs and where we are. So please guys, at this point, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps, and it gives us more ambition to go and create more content for you. And I'm really hoping that we can do some good journeys in this, fun track days, and really take you along, because it's totally new to us. We don't know what we're doing with regards to the actual events themselves. It's going to be a whole new ball game for us. But I hope you enjoy the content we create, and there's going to be more than just this Clio on this channel. There's also some stupid purchases that I've made, and I do make, and my wife is constantly going on at me, but I will introduce you to those as well. And some of you may or may not know that I also have a passion for aviation, so I will try and build this channel around anything with a petrol engine that we can have fun and enjoy. But without further ado, guys, let's have a quick look around the car, and if there's anything you think I've missed out or I could add to this, please put it in the comments, and we'll add it. So these are the seats that we purchased. These are the Cobra Sebring ProFit. I don't actually know what the ProFit means, but they are comfortable. One slight downside is these front cushions tend to lift when you're climbing in and out of the car. So I paid £550 for these without any harnesses, and I think it was a good price. I was looking around online at different seats. Like I say, the only downside is they are wraparound, so I can't use these at the Nürburgring. So I'm going to have to come up with a solution for that. They are a bit marked on the sides, but it's what you'd expect for a seat that's been lifted in and out of cars numerous times. The car did come with a Pure Sport seat bracket, so I had to go and buy a secondary one. These did come with some Cobra seat frames, but they were really low, and when I put them in the car, I couldn't even see over the steering wheel myself, so it made sense to go and get another Pure Sport seat mount. These are the high-rise ones, so they work really, really well. They are fixed position, and I was really surprised I actually got them in the right place first time round. So it's actually really, really comfortable to drive now. Visibility is not amazing with these on the side. You do have to sort of look round the seat when you're coming to junctions, but by and large, I think they do the job and they'll work really well. The next job is to put the harnesses in, which I have got. I brought some TRS, I think they're a 3-inch wide harness, and hopefully I can get those in. They're in blue to match the car. Hopefully I can get those in the next couple of days. I've got to try and look for a roll cage for this, so I can actually attach them to the roll cage and try and find out how we fix them down to the bottom here. I think they go onto this side bolt, but I'll do a video of them installing those to give you guys some information on that. And if anyone does know how to fit them, please drop me a comment and let me know, because it would really help. And yeah, that's pretty much interior upgrades so far. I have ordered a new gear knob for this, and I would like to put the 0.1 gear shifter, but they are nearly £1,000, and I just don't think at the minute that would be a good investment for us until we've done some track days and we really are going to see the benefits, something like that. So interior wise, we're there, just the roll cage and the harnesses to fit, and we'll give you an update on that as and when we do it. So something we saw online a lot of people were doing with these Clios was to do the stud conversion. It comes as a kit. I brought this off eBay. I think it was £65, and it's very simple to install. You basically take the wheel and the wheel nuts out. You then I put a 20mm spacer in with this as well, but you essentially, I put a bit of Loctite on the thread. It's like a double-ended thread. You screw it into the hub, tighten them off. There is an Allen key fitting on the end. I think it's a size 5. Wasn't to get sort of purchase on it wasn't great, because it's quite a small Allen key. That could do with, if in my opinion, going up to a slightly larger size, just to give you a bit more leverage on that. But we got them in the end. One thing I will say is to anybody fitting these is they do get tight towards the end, and you have to sort of go through that. It's almost like they bind up. Purely, I think it's because of the material they're made from, but it does have to sort of go in that bit extra, and I didn't realise until after, but one of the studs was slightly longer than another, and that's when I realised actually I think the others have turned in further than the rest. So just be mindful when you're fitting those. I don't know whether you're meant to put Loctite on them, but I did, and certainly with that 20mm spacer kit, you have to order plus 20 for the 20mm spacers to be accommodated for, because I think they do like a plus 15, a standard one, so you're not running spacers. But I certainly think spacing these wheels out makes a massive difference, not only in appearance but also handling. It feels a lot more planted to the road, and I haven't yet lowered it. I'm still undecided whether to just go 30mm H&R springs or actually to go full coilovers. I think the big cost difference in that, you're looking at sort of 600 to 700 pounds for a used set of coilovers, from what I've seen online, or you can get a set of springs for sort of 170 quid. And I'm thinking, for what we're going to be doing in this car, do we really need that extra setup with the coilovers, or can we just get away with a set of springs for now and see how the car goes on track and take it from there? So that's probably what I'm going to do for now, is just put the springs on it and get those installed at the garage who did my exhaust system. A couple of great guys that I met through the business that I work in, DL Automotive in Redditch. They seem to understand Renaults really, really well, and they've got a couple of track cars themselves. So when I went down to have the exhaust fitted, they sort of knew straight away what I was looking to achieve with this, and they were really, really good to help and reasonable with price. So that's the wheels, that's the stud conversion, and the 20mm spacers. I'm probably going to put some new discs on this. On the front it has got J hooks, but they are extremely worn, and it's probably overdue now to get a new set of brakes in the car. They are the things that keep you on the track essentially, and I think when it comes to brakes, tyres, you can't really cut corners. So I definitely will upgrade the back brakes and the front brakes before we go to a track, and yeah, I'll probably go with J hooks again because they seem a popular choice with this car. So these are the studs that I've got, and what I'm doing, I'm just applying a bit of Loctite onto here, only a little drop, literally a drop like that, and you just screw them in. And what you'll notice on the end here, there's an Allen key fitting on there. I don't actually know what torque size it is, a 5. So essentially this goes in here, and then you do them up into the bolt holes that your normal wheel nuts would go into. From doing the front ones, what I would say is just make sure you do them up all the way. I know it sounds crazy, but there's this sort of shim here that you can see, and that goes actually into the disc. It doesn't do it on the back ones for some reason, but it does on the fronts. So what you'll notice is the threads on the front ones, you have a bit more when you've put your wheel nut on. But it's just worth noting that the front ones do look like they screw on a bit less. So once you've got those in, all 5, obviously with the front ones you want someone either with the foot on the brake, or you can put a screwdriver into the disc because they're vented on the front, and just let it sit against the caliper, put like a rag against it, I guess. So yeah, once these are in, just torque them up nice and tight, and I'll show you the next stage. So yeah, that's the conversion. Let me take you up to the exhaust. So with the exhausts, this was something that I purchased off Facebook Marketplace off a guy called Jez. The Renault Clio forums are absolutely fantastic, and there are a lot of Facebook pages around these, and I simply put out there that I was looking for an exhaust, and a gentleman called Jez came back to me and said he got one. I went over to pick it up. I got it for a really, really good price. I got it for £280. That was a 4-branch Toyo manifold, which was practically new, and it had all been heat wrapped ready. And then I got a catback exhaust system. He even threw in the cat for me because that had to be cut. And it's a gravity catback system. I have to say, I didn't know anything about the exhausts, but but I took a chance on it because it was a really good price, and I've got to say I'm absolutely blown away with the quality and sound of it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It does pop and bang. I took my wife in the car the other day. She hated it, and it can drone on the motorway, but for that sort of B road, you know, high revs around the corners, I think it's going to sound absolutely fantastic. The only downside is it may not, and I don't know yet, pass a decibel reading at some of the tracks. So that's still to be found out, and I will take you along on that journey just to see where we go with it. But overall, I think it's a fantastic exhaust system, and because of the way these fit, you have to drop the subframe on the engine slightly just to get the manifold in. I think it's quite common that the standard exhaust, the flexes break on them, so it's quite a known job that garages know. And when I did take it to DL Automotive, I think they charged me like £150 to fit the exhaust, which I couldn't really fault that, to be honest with you. I thought it was a fantastic price, and it saved me scrambling around on the drive at home to try and get it in. They had the room, and they also put a new gasket on it for me. So overall, really happy with the exhaust. I will start the car up and show you how it sounds, just to give you a bit of an idea. But overall, I'm really impressed with it, and I think this rear diffuser on the RS200 looks fantastic. But let's start the car up and let you have a hear yourself, and let me know what your thoughts are. So there you have it. That's the sound of this exhaust. This is, like I said, is a gravity back catback exhaust system with a Toyo manifold, and yeah, it makes some wonderful noise. Hopefully that's picked it up on the microphone and you can hear it. I'll also do some road passes on it so you can hear it actually as it's under load, and yeah, we'll try and get a nice afternoon to do that with the sun shining, and hopefully take you on a journey, because it would be good also to get you some footage of the cabin noise as well. Hopefully I can get that over the next couple of days, just to give you an idea of how it sounds. If you are thinking of putting one of these exhaust systems on your car, at least you know what kind of sound you're working with, because I have listened to some of the videos of the Akrapovic exhausts, and they sound wonderful, a lot deeper. This is more raspy, which it serves a purpose. Like I say, I'm a bit concerned about track days, but then again, you know, we'll have to get a drive past decibel reading and see how it goes. We may have to put an extra box into the exhaust system just to quieten it down a bit, but that does retain the secondary cat. The first cat's been removed, it's the secondary cat that's remained, and so far so good. It's been absolutely fantastic. So what we've actually got on the car is a whole mix of tyres. So these are the Michelin, I think they're the Pilot Sport 5s. Yeah, they are the PS5s. These are the tyre that I think a lot of people sort of lean towards for sort of road use and track. So that's probably where I'm going to go. At the moment, I think it's quick fit of a deal on at the moment, and I think it's something like 10 to 15% off tyres for January. So I can get 4 PS5s, I think, for about 480 quid fitted, which I think is an absolutely fantastic price. So that's definitely where I'm going to go. What's this one? This is some, yeah, it doesn't really say. Looks like some kind of cheap budget brand. It's not ideal, but it's what came on the car. And I think this one's a Goodyear. So we've got a Goodyear here. As I said, look, you can see the brakes, the J-hooks, they could do with changing. There is a bit of a lip on them, so we'll get those fixed. One thing that did surprise me is the Brembo brakes as standard. They're absolutely fantastic, great stopping power, and you know, you certainly know you've got a 4-pot brake on here when you come to those sort of roundabouts where you're slowing the car down quickly. They really work well. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's where we are with the car. I'm really impressed with it so far, and I think, you know, with what we've got planned for it, taking it down 30 mil will make a big difference. And yeah, next time you'll see, we'll probably be on a track, enjoying the car, and you can come along with us. Like I say, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help. There's going to be a lot more to this than just the car. I was planning to take it out to the French Alps, just to do some driving really and enjoy those roads. Car probably will be ready end of Jan to actually go and do some trips. And yeah, hopefully we haven't made a mistake with that loud exhaust, and it won't bother us too much on the long journeys. But essentially, we've got a track car, we're going to have some fun in it, and like I say, there's going to be more on this channel than just vehicles and cars. So, you know, stay subscribed, listen to what we've got to say, and hopefully you'll enjoy the journey with us, and, you know, see where we go from there. Guys, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. A track.